Welcome Psych 310 students. This is my Week 8 commentary as we begin our exploration of psychoanalytic thought and methods of understanding personality through the lens of psychoanalytic theories. This week and next, we'll be looking at what is a little known and, in my view, a rich area of understanding of personalities. And the common theme is the issue of the unconscious and the nature of the unconscious. So as we think about, quote, automatic, unquote, or unintentional aspects of personality, then we get into, by necessity, interpretive methods such as psychoanalysis. So this week we focus on basic understandings of psychoanalytic theory, most often associated with Sigmund Freud. However, as the collage on the front of our website indicates, in fact, the psychoanalytic tradition quickly went beyond the works, or at least extended the works of Freud in very corrective and innovative ways. And a number of really talented individuals contributed to this. Many of them are represented on that collage. So I hope you'll look beyond the current sort of discounting of psychoanalytic theory, and I would say there are two fundamental reasons why, even though Freud got many things wrong, his techniques and some of his understandings about the unconscious, and in particular his development of defense mechanisms, which soon began to be reformulated in the context of coping mechanisms, really gave us a number of very useful tools in understanding both normal and abnormal expressions of personality. So this is a matter of building basic understanding, basic vocabulary, and suspending our 21st century rather critical and high-speed minds to where we can look at this idea of depth psychology. So the takeaways from these, I'm sure you were introduced to Freud's basic theories, if not in high school, then in your Introduction to Psychology course. Unfortunately, those are usually very quick scans of subtle and complex ideas. So begin with the notion of the basic structure of personality and the notion of personality development, particularly in the first 20 years of life. And then you'll see that neo-analysts, neo-Freudians, if you would, and later the modern generation of ego-psychologists all contributed to this formulation of the nature of the unconscious personality. So it's a useful exploration, although one that often students fail to appreciate. Beyond the issue of the basics of psychoanalytic thought and technique, I might add that another contribution of psychoanalytic theorists was their development of technique. And this is techniques for exploring the unconscious and raising it to the level of the conscious mind. So as you look at the basics, think both in terms of theory but also in terms of technique. Moving on now to other agenda items for our course. You're hopefully well into developing your course project by this point. I would like to again urge you to post your introduction at the international Google community we have functioning now, because in the second half of the course, I'm hopeful that some students, if not all, will be able to accomplish two things at a distance. One is consult with myself on your projects using video conference, and number two is interview a Czech student on your topic of interest, whatever it might be in the area of personality psychology. The students with whom we can match you are sometimes younger than yourself, more traditional, more European in their view of psychology and their developing interests. They're also disadvantaged by the fact that this is happening in a second language for them, Czech being the first. But nevertheless, many are interested in trying to build a bridge with you and essentially help each other with your course projects. So if you haven't already done so, again, access the Google site. Let us know you're there by posting your introduction, and then we'll take it from there as far as pairing you with a Czech student for an interview about your project, and this will give you a cross-cultural viewpoint. So those are the other items with respect to the mid-semester check-in workshop to see how things are going and how to fine-tune your efforts for the second half. A number of you took or are taking advantage of that. I hope more of you, if not in the group efforts, will individually connect with me one-to-one so we can make the second half of your course a really useful experience. So that's an item that now we are moving beyond. And let's see, what else do we have? Oh yes, I am asking you to post on our Blackboard site in Dr. K's office your tentative plans for the final workshop at the end of the semester. And although we're in week 8 now, you'll find the pace will quicken in the last 7 or 6 weeks of the semester. So we essentially have 5 or 6 weeks to organize the peer groups for the final oral presentation of your course project. So I've posted a request that you should reply to indicate which option you would find most doable and perhaps most valuable for yourself. The 3 options basically are to build a group on campus on the ground, secondly, build a group in a video conference, or thirdly, build a group in a conference call on the phone. And any of those are quite doable, but all of them take some organizing, being that the minimal peer group is 4 students, and so it will take some time to find the common time, and common date for your peer group. That's all I'm going to comment on at this point for week 8. Again, the discussion questions are posted, and I look forward to participating in those with you in this second half of the semester.